Whittingham's revenge. It's 1863, the Battle of Manassas Creek. And here comes General Kyle Whittingham of the Confederate Army, might I add.
Oh.
And then in the middle of this, General Lee comes to him and says, hey, remember that time you told me you didn't really want to be the general anymore at Manassas? Yeah, well, you're done. And Whit's like, no, I can still general. I'm good. We got this. Nope. Lee says, I'm not having any of that mess around here. Not around these Civil War parts. Get on. And you know what Whittingham does? He goes up to Ulysses S. Grant, to the bigger, to the better, to the stronger, to the more, to the railroad army, and says, I want in. And Grant says, hell yeah, man. Dudes rock. And Whittingham goes out there. He steals all the Confederate generals he wants. And they said, we're going to fight to end slavery. Now, will I get a call from my boss about this analogy? Probably.
Yes.
Absolutely. Almost assuredly, actually.
Yes.
But it's spot on. And I want you to separate Big 12 coordinators and coaches from the Confederacy now for the rest of the segment.
Art from the artist, please.
I'm not comparing the Big 12 coaches that Whittingham will poach to Confederate generals or commanders or any of that. The great exodus is coming of Big 12 coaches, specifically in the Beehive State, that will make their trek from Utah to Michigan. Jay Hill. It'd be the ones you love the most, right? That just you get stabbed in the back and you think that sucks. Jay Hill, it sounds like, and by the time this drops, probably is already gone to.
Yeah, I had a whole pitch ready for Michigan defensive coordinator Dave Aranda.
You were ready. You were on top of that too. Can you
ready
give me
for it, man?
30-second elevator pitch here of it.
You know what it is? Good defensive coordinator in the past. Successful in the Big Ten, brother. Yeah. 2 top 10 defenses in the country when he was coaching in the Big Ten. And get this, you're not going to believe this. Kyle Whittingham spoken glowingly about Dave Aranda in the past.
Has he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And from a Dave Aranda standpoint, like, probably a good time, man. You can still make some good money at Michigan. Start over, be a defensive coordinator again, get you back in the head coaching job at some other point in, 5 or 6 years. And then you've got the answers to the test. You don't have to deal with this situation because this situation that's bad at Baylor right now, believe it or not, actually goes beyond Dave Aranda. He's the worst part of it, but it does go beyond him. So I would think it would be a great idea.
The former athletic director was getting slick.
Didn't help. He was getting a little too much. Get a little too much of something.
A lot of things.
Too much rouge yet in his life. That's for sure.
Oh, there it is.
And that did not help Baylor at all. So all I'm saying is for both sides, it looks great. Looks great. And you look at it from the Michigan standpoint, you see the success with Wisconsin, the Big Ten national championship ring as defensive coordinator. And Michigan's looking at it like, ooh, man, this guy's got enough pull to bring a head coach from a Power 4 to be his coordinator. That's pretty big pull. Maybe we made the right choice here. Maybe it wasn't the situation where we were all asking for Kenny Dillingham and the Michigan AD is just hard of hearing and hired Kyle Whittingham instead.
We're recording this at 12:42 Eastern time on December 28th. You're going to need to post this segment at like 12:48 Eastern time, December 28th, for it to still be relevant before Jay
Hill's been hired for 21 hours by the time you're listening to this.
He may have, while we're recording, been hired at Michigan officially. This, and that's not where it stops either. What I think is so interesting is I find it incredible. I need a pronunciation guide for pretty much people are already posting who the BYU defensive coordinator might be next. And we get right there like, pronunciation guide. Here we come. There's another.
It took a long time and I watched Navy a lot as a kid. It took me a long time for Niamanalolo. That's a tough one.
Yeah. No doubt. There we go. Report: Jay Hill is leaving BYU to become Michigan's defensive coordinator under Kyle Whittingham. Desert News Sports.
I'm still titling this as Michigan hiring Dave Aranda.
Should Dave Aranda? So, that gives
backs coach
the final 3 minutes of the segment. Wow. Already, Kyle Whittingham is dipping into BYU and taking its coordinators. I think.
Well, see, here's the thing. One last thing here.
Yeah,
if I'm looking at it from Michigan's standpoint,
you still on the Dave Aranda thing?
I am. One last thing. Why the head coach just got fired, right? I'm thinking bring in Dave Aranda, good God-fearing man. He's not going to get into that trouble. You dip into the BYU pool, who knows? Who knows what kind of scandal you're bringing to your program? I'm just saying, what kind of extramarital scandal is coming to your program with BYU? I mean, it's like the modern day Miami.
You best have that Diet Coke stock ready to go. It better be intensely packed when Jay Hill gets there. So I do think Devin Dampier, Jason Beck, there are a list of Utah assistants that will likely go. Mark Harlan's kind of, in a polite way, an idiot. Can I go there? Can I say that?
I'm fine with it.
Maybe not overall as a human being, but in this instance of whatever, get out of my face. That's how I view this. As he tells Kyle Whittingham, whatever, get out of my face.
Fine.
And then Whittingham says, okay. This is, oh no. The Nokia CEO looks at the CFO and is like, just go, leave. I'm done with this. And immediately gets hired at Apple as the CFO. Like, oh, shoot. That's not good. And takes half of Nokia with him. This isn't good. I think if you're the CEO of Utah football, if you're Mark Harlan, probably didn't want this to happen.
Probably not. He's too busy trying to leave the Big 12 still. But it feels unprecedented, of like that exact scenario you just laid out. Like they're pushing him out the door. And Utah is a good football program, and it's a good football coaching job. Okay. No one should get offended when we say this. It's not Michigan. There's no job in the Big 12 that has the prestige of Michigan. That doesn't mean we don't have good jobs here in the Big 12, but that's a different ballpark, right? I know I'm saying it on Locked On Big 12, not my best career move. So you're thinking when you're pushing the old guy out, it's not running across your brain that he's going there. So you add the Nokia thing. Like, how about the Nokia CFO is 66 years old? Okay. He's still like, man, I'm still in on the flip phone thing. And then he goes to Apple. That's crazy. Like, this is a guy that Utah is more or less forced out. And I think that's becoming more apparent by the fact that he's taking the Michigan job that he didn't really want to go. And he takes a top 5 job in college football. That's crazy. Like, I don't think we've ever really seen that for a guy who was at the edge of his career. And that says something about Whittingham and Utah, but also says something about the Michigan job that they couldn't just get Kenny Dillingham. You know what I mean? But this is like kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, I don't think Dillingham was bringing Jay Hill with him.
That he could have brought Dave Aranda.
The only thing here, the former CFO at Apple did hold a butter knife to his neck as he threatened his mistress, allegedly. And so that's another piece of this that maybe you need the flip phone guy. Maybe you need.
Let's get back to the basics. Run the damn ball.
The Kyocera guy to come in and be like, I've never seen these touch screens. Coming up, Baylor signed an NBA player. Everyone cared for like a day, and it went away until it came back. Locked On Big 12. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Speaking of the NBA, FanDuel has happy hour. Now, BYU fans, before you freak out, I mean, you wouldn't freak out, but before you think, I'm out on this, actually, I don't know how that works because we are talking about betting. Bear with me. You can give me your take. Every Friday night before the games tip off, the NBA does happy hour. NBA Happy Hour Fridays, 6 to 7:30 Eastern, have become appointment viewing with NBA. So before tip-off, check out the FanDuel app. See what's dropping during NBA Happy Hour every Friday, 6 to 7:30 Eastern. A little basketball, a little action, whole lot of Friday energy. That's NBA Happy Hour only on FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NBA is FanDuel.